if you're missing out by not buying a more expensive foundation for your more mature skin. I've had those thoughts and I've tried them all. I've gone really expensive foundations all the way to drugstore foundations. Today what we're going to do is go through a real deep dive between two very popular foundations on different ends of the price point. Lightweight formulas, however, because as we age, our skin gets more dry, we're more mature, we do look for a more lightweight formula. Can you tell which side of my face has a $70 foundation versus a $17? Let's get into the details, the application process, and then you'll know more which of these, if either, is right for your more mature skin. If we haven't met before, hi, I'm Jody. I'm 55. Think of me as your midlife beauty bestie, where we explore all things makeup for those of us with mature skin. We get into the details. We really want to know what the ingredients are, how is that impacting our skin, and of course, how do they wear not only during application, but at an 8-hour wear test, which I'm going to share with you also in today's video. And there's a compelling reason why each of these are a good choice. Let's get into the details. All right, let's get into the comparison between these two foundations. Because the price point is so different, we're talking $70 versus $17, it really goes beyond the application and the wear test, which we will do an 8-hour wear test. It also gets into the ingredients so that at the end of this video, you can decide, is what is offered for $17 adequate for what I'm looking for, or do I want the benefits that come with a $70 price tag? And I think it's important to note that it's not just the Prada brand that you're paying for with this. There really are some differences in the ingredients, and we'll get into it so that at the end of the video, you can have enough information to decide which one is better for you. Now, obviously the packaging is very different. I will tell you that both of these are 1 ounce. Although the Prada looks like it offers a lot more product. The thing about the Prada packaging is it is refillable. So once you buy it the first time, you just get this refillable insert. So there is some sustainability there. I wear this in color WN40. I'm gonna put it back in because it looks a lot nicer inside. The reason I wanted to put these two side by side is because many women are looking for a lightweight formula. So I wanted to give you a couple options at different price points. There are certainly good foundations in between 17 and 70, but I thought let's go to the extreme, learn about both so that when you go to look for a foundation, if one of these aren't the right one for you, you'll at least have more information to help decide what is best for you. Now, these are both lightweight, like I said, meaning they are sheer to medium coverage. They are both buildable. The Prada said it leaves a soft matte finish, where the Maybelline Skin Tint says that it is a satin or radiant finish. You will see when I put these on that the way they look, the finish of them, looks very similar. If you have many foundations that you really love and you think, gosh, you know what, I do like my full coverage foundation, but sometimes I want a more lightweight formula, the way you can apply a full coverage to sheer it out will still give you a similar lightweight finish. With any foundation formula, to sheer it out, you're gonna wanna change the way you apply it from a brush or your fingers to a damp beauty sponge. Any beauty sponge works. I like these ones from Real Technique because they have this angle. I just like them. They should look like this, only clean. Then you get it wet, squeeze out the water, and it will double in size. So it should look like this when you're about to use it. Now this works on any foundation formula, like I said. Just know that when you use a damp beauty sponge, it's going to sheer out the product more, giving you a more lightweight, light coverage. So again, if you've got full coverage and you want to sheer it out sometimes, you can use this application and you'll get a different finish to your formula than normally a full coverage will give you with a brush. Because both of these foundations are already lightweight, I don't want to sheer them out or it'll look very, very sheer, and I don't want that. A couple things to note about the formula of both of these foundations. They are fundamentally similar. They offer long wear and they're high silicone liquid formulas. But the differences in key supporting ingredients will significantly impact how each feels and wears on more dry, mature skin. I'm just gonna put a drop on my BK Beauty 101. This is my favorite foundation brush. It's more dense, so it does put a little bit more product on your face, but not only does it put product, it also buffs it out, which is, I think, why I really love this one for a foundation brush. You can see some of the discoloration on my face. So even though this is a lightweight formula, it has really good coverage without looking too thick or too heavy or settling into fine lines and wrinkles, which we'll see in the 8-hour wear. But you can just see it really light coat, the difference between this side where I have some discoloration, some red spots, a little bit of freckling, and this just looks like natural skin, which I love about this formula. And for those of you that have similar skin tone to me, I wear shade 112 in this formula. But just like that, it covered up the discoloration under my eyes. I don't have on any concealer, although I could go back and add some concealer. I'm not going to add any contour or any blush to this look. I'll put on some lipstick when we're done, just so that it looks like I've tried to do something with my face today. If you saw my video from a couple weeks ago, I'll link it at the end, where we talked about the importance of understanding the formulas that your foundations are made of. If they contain silica, silica is in many, many cosmetics. It's not a bad thing. It just means that not only does it help give long wear, it does help with your product if it's a matte product, but it can be drying because it's also an oil absorbent. So if you don't have oil on your skin for the ingredient to absorb, it starts to absorb the moisture from your skin, therefore drying out your skin. It doesn't mean you have to throw out any of your products that have silica in it. It just means you want to use a hydrating primer underneath your formulations or your foundations. I don't have a primer on today because I wanted to see how these two products wear truly side by side without the aid of a primer. If you have a hydrating primer, if you've got dry skin, it's only going to help improve the look and the longevity of either of these foundations. So there you go. That is a really easy application. It's flawless. It's lightweight. I can't feel it on my skin. It doesn't feel sticky at all. So let's go into the product. Now this one, you guys, I matched online. And I was a little skeptical because it was $70. It's a little dirty. So I wasn't sure how it was gonna match, but it actually is the perfect match for me. From somebody that does this a lot, it seems to me like brands have really invested in the technology that helps with shade matching online, which is such a blessing, right? Because going to the store, looking under the different lights, trying to match it to your wrist or on your cheek or on your neck is just frustrating, especially when you're at the drugstore and you can't sample all of them. So doing it online, doing their process of answering a couple questions, picking out different shades that more closely match your skin tone, and letting the technology, or in many cases the AI process, work and find the best shade for you has really been pretty flawless. Jane Iredale's works really well. This Prada one worked really well. House Labs worked really well. So it's taken the guesswork out of finding the right foundation for your skin type. Same process, just about a half a pump. Now here's where some of the bigger differences in these two formulas come for those of us with dry skin. The Prada has humectants and glycerin. The inclusion of glycerin, which is a superior hydrator, and propylene glycol suggests that the Prada will be significantly more moisturizing and less prone to settling into more dry patches like the Maybelline might. It also contains niacinamide, which is a huge advantage because this ingredient is a major addition for mature skin. It's actively working to improve the skin's function, barrier repair, moisture retention while the foundation is on. And the Prada also contains an active sunscreen, which the Maybelline did not, which provides a vital layer of UV protection, addressing a core need for our more mature skin. This formula also feels very lightweight. I don't feel either one of them on my skin. You can still see skin coming through. Do you see what I mean in the differences between the soft matte finish, which that soft matte does give you a little bit more of a blurring effect to your skin, versus a satin finish? To me, they look very similar in the mirror. So you guys take a look at that in the screen and see what you pick up. I also do want to add just a little bit of concealer because I feel like my eyes are still dark. I love this RMS Revitalize Hydra Concealer. I talked about this in a Friday Face Off. I'll link that video down below. I also shade matched this one online and it was perfect. So again, back to technology. And it's this RMS hydration that really got me focused on what ingredients are in the formulation of products for more mature skin. When I look for products for my dry skin, I don't want them to settle into fine lines and wrinkles. I wear makeup for 8 to 10 hours a day. I don't want to find out later on that my formulations or the ingredients I'm putting on my face are drying out my skin throughout the day, because nature has got that task covered. I don't need products also drying out my skin. So I just like to apply concealer, you guys, with my fingers. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just pressing that concealer in. I also try to avoid putting concealer where I have the most wisdom lines or laugh lines, which for me is right underneath here. And both eyes are a little bit different. This eye's puffy and this eye is sunken in, so I need to apply it a little bit differently to get a more balanced, symmetrical look between my eyes. That's also new since turning 50 5 years ago. Don't want to mislead anybody, I am not 50 now. But man, when I was 50, I thought my skin looked bad. And it's like anything else. Like where I am right now, I try to really embrace, because I know in 3 years I'll go, gosh, my skin looked fine when I was 55. Now it's continuing to do whatever it does. So I say all that just to say, just please be kind to yourself right now where you are in your beauty journey, your skin journey. We are so hard on ourselves. I have to add some lipstick because this look is driving me crazy. The lip liner is Spice by Jane Iredale, and the lipstick is Max Blanketly. So that is the final look for right now. I am gonna go 8 hours like this. Again, I would normally put on some contour, a little bit of bronzer, and some blush, but I really want to see how these wear without those products, because many of you don't wear all those different products. So let's just see how this wears on its own, knowing that if you apply a cream blush or a cream bronzer or a cream contour or powder over any of this, it's just going to ensure that the wear of your foundation is longer lasting. So if it works like this, then we know it will work with the different products that you may layer on it at home. So let's see one last look at how these look right now. The coverage looks pretty similar to me. I think that this one looks a little bit more dewy or glowy, which is expected because they do say that this is a natural finish, where the Prada is more of that soft matte. I do feel like I can see that a little bit. This has a little bit more of a glow to it. We'll see how that plays throughout the day. I feel like my pores look the same. That soft matte might give a little bit of a blur, but not that noticeable to me. Again, skincare ingredients in this one and the UV protection are really what helps it, and that niacinamide. So let's go throughout the day and see how it looks. I'll see you guys in about 8 hours. All right, you guys, let's take a look and see. Let me not do that. Do you guys have this happen to you where you put your hair behind your ears quickly and then you forget that you did that and 3 hours goes by? And then you go to take it out and you have that weird little curl underneath here. I do that all the time. I'm gonna put these, I'm doing a holiday gift giving guide video coming up, and you best believe these are going to be in there, because if there is one thing that every woman in my family is going to get for Christmas, it is these clips, because my husband's probably so sick of them because I wear them a lot during the day. If I'm cooking, if I'm doing anything where my hair keeps falling in my face, then I'm running around with these and I don't even care. They're not fashionable, but I don't care. I'm sure the reason I like these ones, you guys, just because you're gonna say there's some cuter ones on the market. There are, but these are big. These are extra large, and that's why I like them. And because the little spring back here, my hair never gets stuck in that. And some of the other ones that I bought, my hair right through here, and believe me, at this age, I need every hair stuck in my head that I still can get. I don't need to pull any out, unless it's a gray one that won't die, and there's usually one right here that does that. Well, once in a while, doink, point it out, pull it out. I try to make it sound. Anyway, so yeah, love these. All right, so let's take a look at these foundations. When I first applied them, my mirror liked one thing and my skin liked the other. And what I mean by that is, initially in the mirror, I liked the way the Maybelline looked better, but I loved the fact that the Prada side was giving me skincare ingredients, niacinamide, lots of hydration, lots of things that more mature skin needs. However, as the day went on, and I have combination skin, I should have said that at the beginning. I am oily through the T-zone like I was 18 years old. So my forehead can get pretty oily. Right here in the corners of my nose, also oily. So that gives me a good opportunity to see how do these formulas wear on dry skin, which my cheeks are, and then more oily areas. And that's really where I saw the difference. And here's what I mean by that. On the Prada side, the oil areas of my skin look the same as the dry patches. So this whole section of my face looks the same as it did this morning to me. It doesn't look patchy. It didn't settle into fine lines and wrinkles. It still has that soft blurring effect, which I personally love that effect. Now, taking a look to the Maybelline side, when I first applied it this morning, it looked really pretty. I loved the glow. I love the lightweight coverage that I got, that it still looked like my skin. But as the day wore on, I could see where my oil patches started to break through and left me looking more patchy than the Prada side. Now, had I not had a different side to compare it. I don't know that I would have noticed it as much, other than I really wanted to go put some powder on because I could see the breakup in the shine coming up through here and then right here on my nose. I have larger pores around my nose. I don't know if you guys have that as well as you've gotten older. So I'm really particular about product right here. I don't like it when product starts to peel away from that area or slide out from that area because of the oil. So when a foundation starts to do that, it annoys me. It does. There's no other word for it. It annoys me. And I did start to see that. So here's kind of my final thoughts on both of these. They're both nice formulas. It really is just going to depend on if you've got more medium to oily skin, you will want to powder in those areas where you get more oily on the Maybelline side. And I think it looks really pretty for the first 4 hours or so. Past that, I'm not sure you can get the whole 24-hour wear out of it if you've got more mature dry skin. I know many of you love this. So if you do, let me know in the comments if you put a primer underneath this. Do you have to set it with powder? And for those of you that have oily skin or combination skin, how does this wear on your oily skin? If you could let us know down below, because my community is awesome. We share with each other and give good tips. So just know that's what you're getting if you get the Maybelline product for $17. It is a nice formula. I think you would be happy with it. Just know that you need to work with it a little bit different at the 4 to 5 hour mark if you have combination or oily skin. The Prada side, it is great if you love extra skincare, if you like that niacinamide, if you like the glycerin, which is really, really hydrating for our more mature skin, and you have oily combination or dry skin and you don't have time to reapply, and you like a longer wear out of your formula. The other thing is that soft matte finish. It just gives a little bit of a blurring effect. That the Maybelline side, I felt like it kind of did. It looked fine, but the Prada side wore better much longer. So that's really the biggest differences between the two formulas: the skincare, the sunscreen, and the longevity of the formulas, depending on if you've got oily skin, dry skin, combination skin. If you've got combination or oily skin, you just need to work with this a little bit throughout the day. Maybe put a mattifying primer under it where you do have oil breakage, and that will also help you get longer wear out of this formula with that mattifying primer. So those are the two differences between the two. You can't go wrong with either one of them. I just wanted to share with you all of the good and the bad about both of them, because if you don't want to pay $70, and I know many of you don't need to have FOMO that you're missing out on some really cool foundation formula that's going to just make you look like a supermodel. No, this formula is wonderful for all the things that we talked about, but you can have confidence walking out the door with a good makeup look with a $17 product as well. So whichever one is right for you is right for you. No judgment on my side. I want you to have the information to figure out which one is best for you. And I hope one of these are. All right, you guys, if you made it this far in the video, thank you for being with me. If you haven't subscribed, now's a really good time to do that. I appreciate you being here. And if you enjoy the content, I also encourage you to become a channel ambassador. It's 99 cents a month. It's $12 for the full year. The reason I do it that way is because that is the lowest amount that YouTube allows us as creators to offer in a membership package. I do the lowest membership because I don't create additional content for membership, like behind a locked door, because I just feel like I want to create great content and I want everyone to have access to it. But this is how I make a living. So I do need to have some way to make an income. But this way, if everybody that wants to pays 99 cents a month, then the content can be free for everyone. And it's sort of a shared program that way. That's just the way it felt better for me to do it. So if you'd like to be a channel ambassador, I'd love for you to do that. You just hit that join button down below. All right, you guys, that does it for me. Stay tuned because the next video is holiday gift giving, and I've tried a lot of stuff and I'm really trying to keep this gift giving guide under $50. So there is a lot for you to choose from, to look through, and a lot of them are already offering a Black Friday deal, so you can get your shopping done before the madness of that weekend, and that is coming quickly. So the next video for me will be out on Saturday to give you a head start on your Black Friday shopping. I'll see you guys in just a couple days. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.